San Diego State is at the center of the golf universe, and most people don't even know it. Hello and welcome to this edition of Aztecs All In. I'm Lewis Weiner, along with Steve Perez. What a day to be an Aztec at the U.S. Open, with an Aztecs alum winning in dramatic fashion, and a current Aztecs golfer winning top amateur. Nothing better than spending Father's Day hunkered down on the couch for hours on end, watching the final round of the U.S. Open. Let's say hello to my partner in podcasting, Steve Perez. Hey, Steve.
Hello, Lewis. So, how's it going? Did you have a good Father's Day?
I did have a good Father's Day. Went actually hit some golf balls with my son and did a little putting. Not very well, but not U.S. Open quality. I'll say that.
It's always easier when the guys who know what they're doing do their thing, right?
Absolutely.
How about that Aztecs golf program, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Impressive. Coming up on this edition of Aztecs All In, another Aztec wins a golfing major. This time it's JJ Spaun.
Aztecs track sensation Shakina Foote comes so close to qualifying for NCAA women's track and field finals.
And the House settlement is official, but what does that mean for the Pac-12 and San Diego State? We'll try to talk about that. But first, Steve, your thoughts on watching JJ Spaun's incredible victory yesterday at home.
The first and most consistent impression I have of him is just how in the moment and focused and unperturbed he appeared most times. The only time I saw him just looking just a little bit, I think I call it the big old Hawaiian stink face, was after he hit that perfect shot to 2 on the final day, and it hit the stick dead on. And the camera keeps cutting away to his face, and it's like he's looking at it like, what, like he smelled something.
Yeah.
Had to change a kid's diaper.
That ball just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. That was tough to watch. I mean, he bogeyed 5 holes the first in the front 9. I mean, but he was really consistent the entire weekend, except for the start of yesterday's round. And he briefly mentioned it. We'll talk about it in a bit, that the rain delay actually changed things for him. So interesting.
Yeah, and have some sound from his coaches and how they talked him up through that whole thing in a segment coming up a little bit later. But again, just the fact that, and you watch these tour players and they are trained by their sports psychologists and coaches to not lose it if something goes wrong on the golf course, because it's going to happen. It's like life. And so they're still in that phase even after something amazing has happened. And he let it go after making that mammoth putt on the final hole, hugged it out with his caddy. They did a little bit of a dance, and he pumped his fists. But even in the interviews, hours afterwards, he still had that cool, calm demeanor, didn't raise his voice, didn't get all psychologically pumped, because that will kill you in golf. If you lose it at any point in the golf course, and a couple moments in that golf round throughout the U.S. Open, you saw them playing highlights of golfers where when things did not go well, they didn't react terribly well. And just even a simple thing as taking your club and smacking it against the turf, or tossing the club, or even just saying something snappish to your caddy. That stuff is death on the golf course, and it's all about maintaining an even keel, and he did an excellent job of doing that throughout all 4 days.
Yeah, he really did, Steve. I agree with you there. And that course, the 5-inch thick grass, constantly, golfers trying to get out of it and barely hitting it. I felt like it was me out there playing my round with you last week at Balboa Park. But it was exceptional to see JJ Spaun react the way he did and handle himself throughout the week. And It started, Steve, with a great opening round, and I guess we have more on that now.
Wild day at the 125th U.S. Open from the beast that is Oakmont Country Club in Pennsylvania. Finishing hole, 500 yards, a par 4. You kidding me? 5-inch rough, narrow fairways, averaging just 28 yards wide. Green so slick they'd make a pool table jealous. JJ Spaun, one of 156 players who made the field.
That included others from the red and black, and two-time major winner Xander Schauffele and senior sensation Justin Hastings playing as an amateur. In all, Lewis, more than 10,000 golfers attempted to qualify for the U.S. Golf World's National Championship. It's put on each year on Father's Day weekend by the USGA. But it was Spaun who was absolutely dialed in on day one, especially with the flat stick, firing a bogey-free 4-under par 66, matching the best first round ever at Oakmont in U.S. Open history. Here's the USA Network / NBC Sports crew as he putts out for par from 35 feet away, last hole of the day, that beastly 500-yard-long par 4.
Little hole location, Gary. I don't know how many birdies have been made, but
two,
strong.
Kurt. Just two, and it is playing as the most difficult hole on the course right now. So
he hit a really good shot in here just to keep it on this little sort of terrace on the left-hand side where the hole is, was an accomplishment, and not missing left.
We saw Dustin Johnson, the only one. He shot 67 to go bogey-free. And then if you go all the way back to the last two U.S. Opens, in 2007 when Angel Cabrera won, 880 rounds have been played, and just Dustin Johnson. Amazing.
That's well judged.
Playing defense the whole way.
Yeah. So he's going to tap that in. He's going to have 26 putts in the opening round, which on these greens, that is quite the accomplishment.
JJ torching the front nine with a record low 31, dropping 4 birdies in his first 8 holes. He drained 90 feet of putts, gaining nearly 4 strokes on the field. Spaun, an LA native, walked on his first year at San Diego State, said he came in with no expectations. Listen to discuss his round immediately after on Golf Channel. Now pay attention to his final words when asked what sort of things needed to go his way to hold the U.S. Open Championship trophy after the most grueling 4 days in golf on earth.
I felt like all I can do is try to execute every shot that I wanted to and just take what the course gives me. And, fortunately, it ended up being a really nice round. And, all I can do is just be happy with how today went. My putting was really nice. I hit a lot of really good chips as well, especially out of this thick rough to really close, range par attempt area. So it was nice to just make all these putts that kind of keep the rounds going and give you more momentum, throughout the rest of the day. It's got to be your time. So many things happen throughout the course of 72 holes that kind of help the winner win. And I've been really close, and I don't know what more I can do. Maybe believe more, or maybe I don't think there's anything technically that I can do more. But I think if I just keep believing in myself and trying to keep execute the way I've been, then eventually I'll pick one of these off.
Just taking what Oakmont gave him. And boy, did he take it. He's the first player to go bogey-free at Oakmont since Dustin Johnson in 2016. What a way to rep San Diego State on day one. Hey, Lewis?
Steve, the most impressive thing to me about Spaun's performance was his consistency throughout the 4-day tournament. Of course, that 66 wasn't repeated, but until he hit a bad stretch at the start of the final round, he was under par for practically the entire tournament. And when you're talking about a course like Oakmont, that is impressive. As you said, he was bogey-free in round 1, but faced more challenging conditions in the second round, recording a 2-over par 72 with 6 bogeys and just 4 birdies. He finished the round -2 overall, 1 stroke behind leader Sam Burns, who shot an amazing 65 in that round. The third round was challenging for the entire field, with just 4 players finishing the round under par, and one of those players was JJ Spaun. He carded a 1-under par 69, bringing his 3-round total to -3, and he was in a tie for second with Adam Scott and 1 stroke behind leader Sam Burns. At one point, Spaun went through a stretch where he finished with 12 straight pars from holes 5 through hole 16. And that takes us to the final round, with Spaun in the second-to-last pairing with Victor Hovland. And man, it did not start off well. He bogeyed 5 of the first 6 holes to temporarily fall out of contention. And the second hole told the story. He hit a solid drive in the fairway, but then his approach shot, which was looking pretty good, actually struck the flagstick and ricocheted off the green, leading to a bogey. He finished the front nine with a 5 over par 40, but his resilience paid off in the back nine. After a 96-minute weather delay, Spaun returned refreshed. He birdied 12 with a 40-foot putt, added another birdie on 14, and after a birdie on 15, sealed the victory with birdies on 17 and 18, and that final putt was as memorable as it could get. He was 64 feet away and needed just a 2-putt to win outright and avoid a playoff. But then he hit the longest made putt of the entire tournament.
That's all JJ's going through right here, is seeing the visual where he wants this ball to roll halfway there, and as it crests and rolls down towards the hole.
Just want to cozy it up. Don't need to make it. 2 putts.
And one of the most unlikely final round Sundays in U.S. Open history, JJ Spaun closes the deal.
Just remarkable. I was sitting on the couch with my wife, who isn't a big golf fan at all, and even she got excited after the ball dropped into the cup. Spaun's back nine score of 3 under brought his final round total to 2 over, and he finished the tournament 2 shots ahead of Robert McIntyre, who was waiting in the clubhouse hoping for a playoff. There was a camera in the clubhouse, and what a classy display from McIntyre, who could be seen applauding for Spaun after his dramatic putt. Spaun was the only player to finish under par and talked with Mike Tirico of NBC Sports after he was awarded the trophy.
I don't think I did keep my composure, honestly, with all the breaks I was getting. I was trying to just dig deep, hit some good shots coming in. But honestly, the weather delay we had was very kind of just changed the whole vibe for the day. Similar thing happened to me at the Players. So this time I kind of leaned on that whole experience where I came back after the delay at the Players and I just kept pushing, and I did that today and bounced back and fought really hard on the back nine.
And on this 18th green, Victor ends up giving you a perfect teach. It's something to look at, and tell me what you were thinking as you got over the putt and what you were watching as it went into the hole.
Yeah, it was nice to get a little teach from Victor. When I hit it, I thought it was a little short, but it was right on the line that I was going for, and then about 8 feet out, it was just looking really good, and I kind of went up to the left and down the fall line, and it was just going right out the hole, and it's just one of those moments in major championships where that's kind of what happens to seal the deal, and fortunately it was my time.
Steve, it was an SDSU kind of day at the podium. Just before Spaun received his trophy, current SDSU golfer Justin Hastings was awarded the medal for top amateur. And that was not a tough decision. Hastings was the only amateur to make the cut and finished the tournament 15 over par.
Now, Lewis, last season at one point, 34-year-old JJ Spaun said he was in danger of losing his tour card. And now on Father's Day, with his 2 little girls, wife, proud parents looking on, he seized the U.S. Open in style with a 64-foot long bomb on the final hole. He was asked afterward on Golf Channel if there was a larger lesson anyone could draw from his example.
I played 9 years out here, made some decent money and, won a PGA Tour event. So I think I stopped kind of worrying about the future. I said, well, if I'm meant to be out here, I'll be out here. And so that kind of changed my perspective going into the last half of the season last year, where I just kind of turned everything around, and then one good week led to another good week, and it was just confidence, and I think that with a little bit of self-belief has kind of been my recipe to taking myself to the next level, is a little bit of confidence
born out of putting in the work, having the confidence, some would call it faith, and then letting the outcome take care of itself. The story goes John Michael Spaun Jr. took up golf as a toddler, both parents playing golf with him. His mother, Dolly, it goes, even played while she was pregnant with him. His first set of clubs, a plastic set, so says Wikipedia. His dad set up a net in their garage. He went to San Dimas High School, but didn't have your superstar child prodigy upbringing. Qualified for a couple of USGA junior events. Not recruited out of high school. And golf's a grind when you're laboring in relative obscurity. When you first start out on the tours, in 2012, after Mountain of the West Player of the Year honors, out he goes. But on every level of the pro golf circuit, everyone out there is a player. And like life, there's lots of ups and downs. Last year at this time, he's 164th in the world, but he fought back. In Sunday's final rounds, Oakmont threw some haymakers, and the golf gods chimed in. And take that 90-yard approach he hit to 2, hit the flagstick, dead center, and then rolls right on off. Bogey.
That literally was a 2-shot swing. I feel like it probably would have been pretty close to a good birdie look, but I ended up making bogey. But I was getting very uncomfortable, and I did really well kind of the first 3 days, just not caring and not worrying too much about outcome, and that's kind of what kept me playing well. And today I just started caring way too much. But then the rain delay happened, and it was a nice little reset, very similar to what happened at the Players.
And then the golf gods dropped some rain on Oakmont. That gave JJ a chance to gather his wits, listen to his team, let him know there was still plenty of golf to go, and he only trailed by 4, even after those 5 bogeys on the first 6 holes. His caddy, Mark Cairns, Coach Adam Schreiber, helped prop him up during the reset.
I was there just like, dude, just chill. Like if you were given four shots back going into the back 9 on Monday, like you would take that. So they just said, just let it come to you, be calm, just stop trying so hard. And that's what I was doing, like I felt like I had a really good chance to win the U.S. Open, at the start of the day, and it just unraveled very fast. But that break was actually the key for me to winning this tournament.
Now, Spaun came into the tournament knowing how to win, but had just 1 win on the PGA Tour to his credit at the Valero Open in 2022, and he was fresh off a second-place finish at the Players against Rory McIlroy after coming up just short on a putt to win it in regulation. So here he is on the back 9 of the U.S. Open after carding a 40 on the front 9. And remembering the words of Tiger Woods, according to fellow golf pro Max Homa, just stay in it no matter what comes your way. 4 holes after a 90-minute delay, he's in the lead in just his second U.S. Open appearance. JJ married Melody Means in 2019. Their 2, Emerson and Violet, came in 2020 and 2023. And he says his eldest always asks after he comes home from wherever he's playing and says, "Were you the winner today, Daddy?" And then, "Where's my surprise?" Well, this Father's Day, Lewis, she was there in person and she didn't have to ask. Before that, though, he had a wee hours of the morning run to CVS because his daughter had some sort of stomach bug and was hurling the entire night. A blessing, kinda, since he got to focus on what was really important and not obsess over the day ahead, except when it's time to play the next shot, accept the result, and move on. A new member of Spaun's team is Josh Gregory, who gave JJ some short game tips, especially for hitting out of the rough, including what JJ calls the secret.
It was funny, the first hole of the tournament, like we worked Monday through Wednesday, and the first hole of the tournament, I'm dead short-sided on 10 in the rough, probably not far from the pin, but it was dead because it's on the wrong side of the green. And it was one of those lives where we try to, I'm not going to tell the secret, but we try to do the secret, and I chipped it in, and my caddy goes, "Nice shot, Josh." But yeah, it was nice to see that, come to fruition so quickly.
Here's Coach Gregory, courtesy Golf Channel, and ace reporter Todd Lewis talking about his relationship with Spaun, including a tidbit from his college playing days, and Coach Schreiber, who calls JJ's skateboarding moves his superpower. Apparently, JJ contemplating being a pro skateboarder before the hard falls guided him to what is a more cerebral game.
We've been friends for a long time, since I snubbed him from the Palmer Cup team back when I was a coach at SMU. But I think the Players' Championship proved that he can be one of the best in the world. And as I kept telling him each day this week, I said, each day you're validated that you are one of the best in the world. Look, I just gave him some guidance. He needed some help. We've been friends forever. I've helped him a few times. Obviously, we did a lot more work this week on understanding what he needs to do around the greens. But he, is Caddy Mark, and Adam Schreiber, that's the glue, man. They've built this, and JJ has been a kind of an overachiever his whole life. And to me, to be a small part of it and help him this week is truly special, because there's not really a better dude on tour. He's an overachiever, he's a grinder, and he just needs instructions and guidance. But this should validate to him, most importantly, that he's one of the best players in the world.
We did a lot of good work in the off season, tapping into his skater feet. He's a skateboarder as a kid, and we use that to kind of build his swing. And we just optimize the efficiency of using his skater legs. You know what I mean? And he, I tell him his feet are a superpower, and they are. Like, I mean, what other golfer out here can, go in there and do threes on a skateboard and stuff like that? And we tapped into it. It's really cool.
Yeah, how Southern California. And Golf Channel's Todd Lewis also grabbed the sound with JJ's dad, John, in from Scottsdale for the big event, watching his son grab the U.S. Open trophy in style on Father's Day.
I broke. I cried immensely. I'm a very emotional person. All that emotion just came out. It was just a powerful feeling. Love, hard work. It's been a journey. I mean, it's been a journey of probably 30 years. He's 34, but he's been golfing since he's 3-4 years old. It's just been hard work, and it's been ups and downs. There's a lot of downs in golf. People don't realize how many downs there are, and it's all of that, those ups and downs, and the hard work that he's put in. He's put in so much time, and I'm just so proud of him for breaking through this time.
And here's what little love the national TV types gave the Aztecs golf program, Lewis, where they noted the performance not only of JJ Spaun, but Justin Hastings, the only amateur to make the cut and thus finishing the U.S. Open as the low amateur. Here's Ace Golf Channel anchor Richard Lerner.
JJ Spaun has won the U.S. Open. He's a San Diego State guy. So, too, is the low amateur Justin Hastings. He has really come on the last 2 years, gaining confidence, finished 13th at pro event, Mexico Open earlier this year, for having won the Latin America Amateur Championship in January. Smart, composed, organized, player to keep an eye on. So, well done. Justin Hastings from the Cayman Islands, all battling a brutally hard golf course.
Lewis, those two, Spaun, Hastings, will be on the international stage when they compete in the Open on the Old Sod this year at Royal Portrush beginning July 17th. And oh yeah, defending champ former Aztec Xander Schauffele will be there. Okay, Lewis, on to track, where San Diego State's Shakina Foote wrapped up her stellar season at the NCAA Outdoor Championships in Eugene, Oregon, coming oh so close to the 400-meter final. The junior blazed to a 51.42nd performance in Thursday's semifinals at historic Hayward Field. That was just a heartbreaking 0.006 thousandth of a second away from qualifying. Foote had qualified for the semis after placing second in her heat in the NCAA West quarterfinals in College Station, Texas on May 31st. Foote ran that one in a record time of 50.95 seconds in the first round, was 12th fastest in the U.S. going into the championships. Foote's second NCAA outdoor performance, Lewis, that makes her just the second Aztec to compete in multiple 400s at this level. Aztecs lone qualifier, Foote's season ends, but man, oh man, what a season it was. Alrighty then, Aztecers, this is your Aztecs All In process update as of Monday morning, June 16th, 2025, the year of our Lord. Or as they say in the People's Republic of China, the year of the snake, as in... There's big money moves afoot in the bowels of the SDSU budgeting bureaucracy and what they mean for the San Diego State Aztecs in the 2025-26 season. Granular issues range from budget battles on a statewide level to a blockbuster conference switch to the Pac-12 on the horizon. Now, I know you want to surf off to see what's the next meme or the funny web dealy bob or cat video. And of course, also know you have to check to see what we have to be absolutely outraged about this week. But here's a take that hopefully doesn't take too much of your valuable time. First up, SDSU budget for next year, not quite locked in yet. The university still crunching numbers. It's a tough scene. Last announced deficit, according to the state budget bean counters, in the neighborhood of $12 billion statewide, billion with a B. State's elected leaders, though, have approved an annual budget with no cuts, some internal borrowing. One Republican state senator tells the nonprofit, nonpartisan website calmatters.org that it was really passed on a hope. They had to pass on something, though, because the elected peeps in the state Senate and Assembly would not get paid otherwise. And so it flows downhill. State's tight budget, slashing nearly $800 million from the Cal State system, including SDSU. That's less cash from the state for SDSU, including athletics, which runs on a budget somewhere around $55 to $57 million, I'm told. That money's supposed to come from student fees, budget institutional support, ticket sales, and donations. Football alone is supposed to bring in somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 17 million, but with enrollment dips and state cuts, Aztecs feeling the squeeze of some belt tightening under the hood. Overall impact on recruiting or facilities not quite clear at the moment. So yeah, clear as mud. Also clear as mud, Lewis, is I'm running out of gas on this one, so how about I tag you in with the rest?
Wow, Steve, that's impressive coming from you. I know how much you love talking about process. But now the game changer. A settlement in the House versus NCAA case that is now officially resolved and hopefully will put some sort of end to the wild, wild west that is NIL. Schools, or more specifically NIL collectives, have been throwing wads of money at college players, but this settlement, which goes into effect next month, allows all universities, including San Diego State, to share up to $25.5 million a year with athletes for their name, image, and likeness. That number is a max, and already AD J.D. Wicker says the Aztecs won't get close to that amount. Immediately after the ruling, the SDSU Athletic Department announced the launch of the Student Athlete Recruitment and Retention Fund. According to the SDSU press release, the fund will, quote, play a critical role in strengthening our ability to recruit, retain, and support student athletes as we prepare to transition into the Pac-12 conference. All contributions are tax deductible, unquote. So basically what the ruling does is allow universities to directly share revenue with student athletes in exchange for licensing their NIL, in addition to continuing to offer scholarships, housing, meals, and other essential benefits. But you're probably thinking, hey, I already give to the Mesa Foundation and the Aztec Links collectives. Well, those collectives will continue to exist, and your donations will now count towards your Aztec Club priority points, just like the gifts you make to the university itself. So now schools can offer scholarships to every athlete on their roster, but in exchange, each sport will have a new roster limit, which may be higher or lower than previous scholarship limits. Meanwhile, it's full speed ahead for San Diego State into the Pac-12 conference, effective nearly 1 year from now on July 1st, 2026. So if you have ever dreamed of a trip to Laramie, Wyoming to watch the Aztecs play, you better do it within the next year. What we know is that SDSU, along with Fresno State, Utah State, Colorado State, and Boise State, are joining Washington State and Oregon State to form the new Pac-12, along with basketball member Gonzaga. But the conference still needs one more football-playing member to satisfy the NCAA conference rules. And who will that be? Well, the latest rumors point to Texas State. But who really knows? We're also awaiting details for the new media deal with the new conference and how much that will mean for the schools. It appears to me that the conference may be giving up some money in order to get more exposure, but we'll soon find out. What we do know is that the Aztecs want to put more fannies into the seats at Snapdragon Stadium to help navigate these new costs to grow and maintain rosters. That's tough to do while the Aztecs face budget cuts with tuition hikes and fundraising to keep the program strong. And this has been your mid-June Aztecs All In process update.
Okay, and that puts a wrap on this edition of Aztecs All In. Don't forget, you can follow us on the X, Aztecs_all_in, or drop us a line Gmail. That's aztecsallin@gmail.com. So for Louis Weiner, this is Steve Perez saying thanks for joining us, and talk to you soon.